Alright, so the three clans, two got banished, one's living in Ironforge. They all lived on their own for a long time. But the Dark Iron Dwarves, led by Tharasan, I don't know how to say it, kind of held a grudge the whole time. Years passed, so even though the Ironforge Dwarves, they started their society again. They're hunting for treasures in mountains, because that's what dwarves do, exploring, digging. In Grim Batal, the Wildhammer clan did the same thing. They're starting civilization, doing really well. And even the Dark Iron clan, are kind of prosperous and living okay. But the Dark Iron ones, were kind of evil. And after years, got fed up and decided to get revenge. So they sent a two-prong attack against Ironforge and against Grim Batal, the Bronzebeard clan and the Wildhammer clan, and tried to take them out, and almost took both cities. Rushed Ironforge, rushed Grim Batal at the same time. The Wildhammers are fighting off. They're getting slaughtered though, because the Dark Iron Dwarves use a lot of dark magic. This war, by the way, it's kind of a huge thing in Dwarven history. It happens about 230 years, so for a long time. This is because they came out of hibernation about, what was it? About 2,500 years before Warcraft, lived together for many, many years, got banished, and about 230 years before Warcraft, or before Warcraft 1, not World of Warcraft. So 2,500 years before Warcraft 1, and then they got split up, banished, and then 230 years before Warcraft 1 was the War of the Hammers, and that's what this is called. When the banished Dark Iron clan waged war on the banished Wildhammer clan and the ones that still live in Ironforge, the Bronzebeard clan. So this War of the Hammers took place, and it's a huge thing in Dwarven history. So he almost took both cities, almost took Ironforge, almost took Grim Batal, slaughtering. Grim Batal barely survived. The actual king, the king himself of the Wildhammer clan, Karadros Wildhammer, killed the leader of the army that was attacking Grim Batal. Not Tharasan, not the leader of the whole thing, but the leader that was attacking Grim Batal, and started to push him back. And at the same time, probably because Ironforge is so well defended in their mountain, the Bronzebeard clan did the same thing, started pushing him back, until they were basically the two backing up Dark Iron clans met, and on either side by the Wildhammer clan and the Bronzebeard clan, and they saw each other, and the Bronzebeard clan and the Wildhammer clan kind of teamed up against this Dark Iron clan, and it was too much. And they got pushed all the way back to Tharasan, to their city that they started in the Red Ridge Mountains, and were getting slaughtered. They were going to lose the fight. The Dark Iron clans were going to lose this War of the Hammers, because the Bronzebeard clan, the Ironforge guys, and the Wildhammer clan, the ones that live in Grim Batal right now. Grim Batal, I'm going to double check this, and I'll do it in editing if I'm wrong. I think it's by Moran, kind of, and I don't think it's playable right now. And lots of stuff happened there later with the Red Dragon fight and stuff, but we're not going to get into that. So they all pushed him back, all the way back to the city of the Red Ridge Mountains, and in desperation, the leader, Tharasan, in the city of Tharasan, he named the city after himself, the city in the Red Ridge Mountains, currently the Burning Steppes, used some magic to summon Ragnaros. And this is the Ragnaros, the one from Molten Core. So here's a little origin story on that, some bonus 101. What's the Blackrock Spire? What's this huge volcano in the Burning Steppes? Where did it come from? It came from the War of Hammers. It came from this guy Tharasan. He summoned Ragnaros, who, way back when, was one of the original inhabitants of Azeroth, but got, taken out by the Titans who created the world. So that's why I mentioned that way earlier. So the Titans that created the world, put Ragnaros to sleep, whatever he did, was summoned again by the Dark Iron Dwarves, this guy Tharasan, in desperation to try to fight off the other two clans of the Dwarves in this War of the Hammers. Did not work though. It was total backfire. Because Ragnaros was just basically the freaking apocalypse. He came down and just started raining fire on this Red Ridge Mountains, on their city they started, Tharasan. Murdered Tharasan, basically, the leader. and murdered their city. So the ruins of Thurison are still there, and you can visit them, and they're in the Burning Steppes. That might be wrong, but you know, in that whole whatever zone that Blackrock Depths is in, Blackrock Spire, the whole Martin Core, you know, that huge mountain where all the dungeons are, whatever zone that is, I think it's Burning Steppes. I'm gonna double check that too, because again, I haven't played the game in forever, but I think it's Burning Steppes. You can still see the ruins of Thurison, this city that the Dark Iron Dwarves used to have, and it's all ruined, and the whole Red Ridge Mountains basically is just this fiery pit of crap, because Ragnaros was summoned and just murdered everything. He made this huge volcano come out, and that is Blackrock Spire. That's where all those dungeons are. That's why they're all there. He enslaved the remaining Dark Iron clan, and that's why all the Dark Iron clan are in there. That's why you fight Dark Iron Dwarves in there. Like, what is the Dark Iron Dwarves? How come they're different? How come they look different? How come they're dwarves? How come we're fighting them? That's why they're bad dwarves. They're the ones that waged war on Ironforge and waged war on the Wildhammer clan and the Bronzebeard clan way back then. And they got enslaved by Ragnaros. So even if they did have a will of their own and wanted to be good, they can't, because Ragnaros enslaved them all. And Ragnaros is this huge monster. And when I played, he was it. I mean, level 60, you had to have a raid of 40 people. You had to be one of the biggest guilds on the server to go into Molten Core and fight him. So he's this godlike thing. Not so much now because you're level 80 and whatever. But that's who this guy is in the Molten Core. So that Molten Core dungeon, this is its origin. Has to do with the dwarves. So Bronzebeard clan and the Wildhammer clan were about to take him out. And then they summoned Ragnaros, and Ragnaros basically just did it for him. And they were like, gonna push in, and they were like, never mind. I'm not gonna fight this fiery bitch. So they went back, and Ragnaros, to this day, or maybe he's dead now, I don't know if they officially changed the lore of Warcraft in the game, but that's why you were able to fight him, is this guy got released and now he lives in this mountain that he created, and that's why you'd be able to go on raids and stuff when you play World of Warcraft. So they went back. Bronzebeard clan went back to Ironforge, Wildhammer clan went back to Grim Batal, and they became kind of peaceful and traded among themselves. And so the two clans, even though they're different, started to I don't know, come together, be friends, and they still are to this day. They're both members of the Alliance. Only one's playable, the Ironforge clan, of course. But so the Bronzebeard clan went back to Ironforge and started to rebuild their city, and it looks pretty much like it does today. They rebuilt it, and now you can go in there. The Wildhammer clan went back to Grim Batal and couldn't live there. Just they saw the slaughter, and they were like, too many people died here. I can't fucking take it. So the Wildhammer clan decided to not live in Grim Batal anymore. They didn't want to live underground because it was just too much for them, and so they migrated to the hinterlands and started Airy Peak, the kind of city where they live now. And that's the Wildhammer clan, and they befriended the Griffins, and that's why dwarves ride griffins. It's these Airy Peak dwarves. They're different than the Ironforge dwarves. And when you read books, let's see, in the Warcraft archive here, there's a book by Richard Knapp, the guy who wrote the War of the Ancients trilogy. You can buy this book on its own, but I have it in this collection here called Warcraft Archive. It's called Day of the Dragon, and you encounter some griffin riding dwarves, and the characters in this, when they describe them, they say that they're similar to their Ironforge counterparts who I've met before, but they're slightly taller and slightly leaner, and they ride these griffins, and they live above ground, which is a little weird because most dwarves I know live underground.